So tonight, I figured would be a good time to talk about trash. Here's the big question I want to know from the callers. Have you ever eaten out of the garbage? And if not, what? You think you're too good to eat from the garbage? What makes you so special that you don't have to eat from the garbage? What makes you so high and mighty that you wouldn't eat food that you found in a waste bin? I think it's ignorant. I think it's a little pretentious to have never eaten food out of the garbage. I don't trust anyone that's never eaten food out of the garbage.
Call from
Frankie.
Frankie, baby, talk to me.
Just chilling like a villain, man. Honestly, can't believe I'm talking to you right now. This is trippy.
Which villain? Jafar?
Say what?
Which villain? Jafar? Because let me tell you something about villains. They're actually not very chill. Villains, typically, whether they be fictional characters or historic dictators that have committed atrocities, they're not very chill at all. They actually are consumed by, I don't know, greed, insecurity, unsurmountable lust of power. So to chill as a villain would actually be to not chill very much at all. I mean, I can't think of a chill. Does anyone know any chill villains? Can you think of a single villain that you were like, I would hang out with that villain?
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil. Okay, I could see that. Because he's bumbling. You don't feel like he actually has the capacity to hurt you.
No, he's like kind of a moron, and I'm also a bit of a moron. So I think
if Scar from The Lion King was a real person, I would not want to hang out with them because I feel like they would try to kill me and steal my money and my food and live in my house and claim it as their own. Have you ever eaten from the garbage?
Man, no, but I think if I really had to, I probably would. But no, I can't think of a single time that I've ate from the garbage.
If you really had to, you would. So if you had no other means of obtaining food, you would find it within yourself to eat from the garbage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if I absolutely had to, I don't know. I'd probably steal before I eat from the garbage, honestly.
Okay, so you saying that if you absolutely had to, you're looking at eating from the garbage as a very undesirable last resort, correct?
That's correct.
Let me give you some advice. Here's what you should do. I think, what's your name?
Frankie.
Frankie, once a week, if you eat 3 meals a day, it's 21 meals a day. Okay? I mean, that's 21 meals a week, right? One of your 21 meals a week, eat it from the garbage. That way, Frankie. Is it Frank or Frankie?
It's Frankie. But
okay.
My friends
Because it'd be weird if it was just Frank and I was like calling you Frankie like you were like my boyfriend.
It's okay. You can call me Frank if you want to.
Frankie. You should eat one of your 21 meals a week from the garbage. Because that way, when you do come across this worst case scenario in which you are left with no other choice but to eat from the garbage, it'll be that much less painful because it's something you've already done before. You need to train yourself to be able to do it. So I think that you need to eat at least one of your meals a week. It doesn't have to be a meal a day. You don't have to eat from the garbage every day, but once a week, eat from the garbage. Just so that you're primed to do it if the possibility comes up that you have to.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've received a lot of advice through my life, but this is like life-changing advice. I'm definitely going to take it.
I'm happy to help, Frankie. Thank you so much for calling.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gecko. I hope you have a good stream.
Thank you, man. You too. You have a good night.
Oh, you too.
Yeah! I said you too. I'm such a fool. I must look ridiculous right now, having said you too to him when he said have a good stream.
Therapy Gecko's on the line, taking your phone calls every night. Therapy Gecko's doing it right, he's teaching you how to live your life, but he's not really an expert.
Call from
Peter.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you doing?
You said thanks. Do you think asking someone how they are is like really doing anything for them, like doing them enough of a service of some kind that you should thank them for it? Or is it at this point just a neutral sort of formality that really deserves no thanks?
I mean, in some ways, when you're asking how someone is, it's not like you're automatically repeating a sentence like, okay, so how are you doing? Like you're throwing it back. I suppose you're actually want to know how I am doing. So I'm glad for that. Thanks.
What's your name?
Peter.
Peter, are you in Scandinavia right now?
No, you have 2 more shots to guess where I'm from.
I have only 2 more shots.
Yes.
Are you from Scandinavia?
No.
Are you from Scandinavia?
No, I'm from Brazil, man.
You're from Brazil. Okay, there we go. See what I did there? I used a strategy, which was all I really wanted was to know where you were from. And so
I know.
Learn that information as quickly as possible. So I just immediately sort of spam answered the same answers so I would finish up the 3 shots and get immediately to the answer.
I know, but I wouldn't hide it anyway.
I know you wouldn't, because you seem like a good guy.
I am.
Have you ever eaten out of the trash?
That's something. I have never eaten from the garbage, but I have eaten things that would go to garbage. Is that considered?
You've,
I mean,
sort of proactively eaten garbage.
It's like when we used to do those things, because here in Brazil it's a freaking chaos, but when we had bars or restaurants, mainly bars because people are gotten drunk and they usually leave things on the table. But when I sit next to a person in a group of friends, and normally people leave like leftovers, but it's not like half eaten or something. It's like almost perfect leftovers. And I had no shame in like, let me take those. It's freaking perfect, because if I leave it on the table, the waiters were going to throw them away. So like the other call you answered, it's like, it would be trash, but if I eat it, it's not trash anymore. So that's something.
Back when bars were a thing, back before bars were closed, you would go up to, like, say, a table of people who you did not know. After they had left.
No. After they were gone. After they were gone.
Okay, yes, after they were gone. All right, so a table of people who you had never met in your entire life ordered a thing of mozzarella sticks. They were too busy enjoying each other's company and each other's love that they didn't even notice that they had them. And then they walked away, leaving 3 perfectly good mozzarella sticks at their table. And then once there was no sign that they were coming back and that they had abandoned their mozzarella sticks, you walked over and you started eating them.
Exactly. That's something I'm really not ashamed of, really.
Let me ask you,
because many people do that.
Is that that's a common thing in Brazil?
It's not in Brazil, generally speaking. I mean, people usually hide those things, but when you're trying to save money, or when you're just, I mean, we back in the day, we were not really ashamed of touching other people's belongings because there was no risk. Or when we were drunk, we would eliminate those risks on our heads, but we would take them if they were perfectly fine. But if we see that it was half eaten or something, most people do that. Seriously.
So you
most people do that.
And by the way, I don't know anything about Brazil, so anything you could really tell me anything is part of Brazilian culture, and I would just take it at face value. I'm in a position where I'm very easily lied to about this because I don't have any.
No, but I'm not gonna lie. But
I know.
But let me just,
because you seem.
But it's like we have like 7. that we have like said 100 people on the stream, but let me say we live in a mess right now. We have no idea. It's like India, but 10 times worse because India actually is kind of respectable on the international community. We are like I don't know, outcasted by since we had this government. It's terrible. I don't even want to talk about it because it's too depressing. I mean, that
shit,
thing.
I feel bad. I just told
right
a
my
kid to
ears,
go
yeah.
to South America.
No, but South America is safe if you are from another country. I mean, you're going to spend just a little time here. You're not going to live here. You're not going to build a life here. Building a life here, it's really depressing.
Why is it really depressing to build a life there?
Because recently, every good thing that you could imagine is starting to be a privilege. You know, vaccines here are a privilege. A good job is a privilege. Having a nice way of transportation is a privilege. It's not like a right anymore. And when rights become privileges, we are all screwed. And that's depressing.
Mm.
Yes.
Do you feel as though you have a good life now?
I mean, I have a good life now, but if I had the same life, where I'm 29, I'm doing my master's, and I have some regular income, but if I had this life like 10 or even 7 years ago, I would be much better. Much, much better.
Why do you
Things
say
gotten
if you had
worse.
this life 10 or 7 years ago? What do you mean by that?
We had more opportunities back in the day.
Sure.
Not like now. I'm finishing my master's in like a few months, and I'm completely stuck. Either I go to a PhD and I start a 4-year cycle, or I go look for a job which is non-existent in my field. Yes. But
What is your
all that,
field?
my field. It's kind of confusing, but I'm a lawyer, but I actually research on health. Like people on chat were saying, it's like health inequality. It's sort of my field of research.
Why are there no jobs available in the fields?
Because
There
when you
were
finish
in the past.
law school, either you go to a law firm to work like a slave for a tiny salary, or either you try to be a public defendant or a public attorney or a judge or something which you need to study very much. It's a broad field with little opportunities. That's what I'm saying.
What do you think you're going to do next?
I guess I'm going to face my PhD and try to research a little bit more, and maybe if the situation gets better, try to find an opportunity out here. Maybe there in the US or Canada or in Europe. I don't know. Staying here, it's less and less of a choice.
Well, what did you say your name was?
Peter.
Peter. Well, look,
Yes.
Peter, I really do hope things get better for you.
Thanks. It's not like it's hell, at least for me. It's just harder than it could be. And that's really not a good thing to be in.
Well, at least you can always go to the bar and take mozzarella sticks off people who've left them there.
Maybe, if there are still, because I'm vaccinated, I don't worry about it anymore. I'm just worried about my parents and people I live with. So after everyone I know gets vaccinated, I'll go back to my older life.
Well, I wish you good luck, Peter. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks, Gecko. I appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thanks, man. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Call from
Jay.
Jay?
Hey, what's up, Geck? How you been, buddy?
Jay, How have I been?
Yeah.
I'm doing my best. Before the stream, here's what happened: is before the stream, I like totally didn't feel like streaming because I didn't have any energy, and now I have more energy. I feel better now.
Oh,
and so I'm excited.
You got that reptilian energy. It's like you got a new tail.
Yeah, I think it comes right when you need it.
Doesn't it always?
It doesn't always, to be honest with you.
There's medication for that, but, you're too young for that.
I'm too young. How old do you think I am? 14? Because you'd be correct.
In Gecko years, maybe.
Probably in Gecko years. A lot of people, every time someone's like, oh man, I wish I was 14, or like, I wish I was back in school, I hate being an adult, they don't remember what it's like because it's truly terrible.
I wish I had a mayfly's lifespan. Like, if you knew you only had 24 hours from start to finish, what a life.
Having 24 hours to live. Well, I mean, what would you do if you had only 24 hours to live? Where would you go? What would you do?
I'd go over to the prettiest mayfly at the colony's house, I guess. Well, for starters. And then
you'd have sex.
No. That's for starters. I said for starters. And then I have wings, so I'm obviously going to start flying around and seeing all the sites that I can't afford to fly to without wings.
No, I mean you as a person.
No, straight mayfly? Okay, so me as a person, 24 hours to live?
Yeah, 24 hours to live.
Well, I probably have to hijack a plane because I don't have wings. I have to worry about back to
hijacking a plane would take hijacking a plane would take months of preparation. You'd have to get a whole team together. You don't have time for that.
Yeah, you're right. 24 hours
24
to live?
hours.
I'll probably have to learn to fly then. Which I feel like I could do.
Even longer. It takes years.
If you have 80 years on this life, it takes years. But if you only have 24 hours, you're talking 15 to 20 minutes.
Jay, have you ever eaten out of the garbage?
So I've eaten trashy things. I don't know what's one man's treasure is another man's. What another man's junk is another man's treasure. So what I would say is trashy that I've eaten. We call it the kibble special. So it's dry dog food eaten as cereal, but instead of milk, you use Barton's vodka. So it is not technically in the trash, but some people would consider that a trashy way to eat food.
Dog food with vodka.
Yeah, eaten with a spoon. I'm not eating it with my hands. A soup spoon, perhaps. Barton's vodka. Maybe if I'm feeling nice, I'll go and do Amsterdam. And then
for
kibbles. So it's soft. It's a soft food.
Now, is this something that you are eating as part of a hazing ritual, or are you eating it of your own volition?
It's more of an economic situation that I find myself in. It's the most viable thing. Whole Foods is out of my price range, so next best thing is kibbles and Barton's.
I bet a lot of people are shitting on you right now, but I want you to know, I think that's very smart. I think what I might try to do, same to the guy who I told about eating trash. I think I might try to start eating dog food once a week, just so that I'm primed to do it in the event that I enter an economic situation in which I have no choice but to eat dog food.
The hilarious thing is everyone on this stream has looked at wet dog food and thought maybe, and people who think I'm lying don't actually know me because this is not something I'm making up. I have done this several times in real life.
How much is several times?
3 to 5. 3 to 5, only one of which was motivated by a bet for money. The other one was like revisiting an old friend.
The taste of wet dog food, could you compare it to anything else?
It's like I would say a whole brand cereal, but with a little spice, like a little ginger Barton's in there at the end.
Is it always with vodka? You ever do almond milk or Sprite?
Maybe rum chata, but obviously I think there's room for experimentation there, just with anything in life. Variety is a spice. So actually, now that you said that, I think I'm going to make myself a bowl.
Well, listen, Godspeed, Jay. You're a frugal hero and an inspiration to us all.
It's a pleasure chatting with you, Jack. Keep them in.
You as well.
Call from
Jerry.
Jerry?
Oh, shit. Am I on?
You're on the thing.
Oh, my gosh. I've been trying for weeks.
Jerry, listen. Jerry, what are you clicking? You're clicking something. Does anyone else hear this clicking?
Yeah, I was playing Red Dead. I'll stop.
Are you still playing it?
No, I put it down.
Are you winning?
I was doing a mission.
Who's in the background? Someone just asked you who you're talking to.
That's my little sister.
Can I talk to her?
It's the guy on the computer.
Oh, she sounds like she's 14.
No, she's like 8.
Yeah,
Oh.
8.
Yeah. You can come back in when I'm done.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
You're 18. Wow. So 10 years after you, your parents wanted to have another child.
Yeah. I have a little brother that's 5 years younger than me.
Hmm.
Who's your little brother?
Why did she ask who your little brother is? She should know who that's her
Little brother.
big brother.
Yeah, she's I don't know.
Who's your little brother?
Get out.
No.
Hang on.
All right. Now we'll wait.
Okay.
No.
Thanks.
Is
This
she
is
gone?
she is now.
Okay. I heard a door close.
Yeah, now she's
All right, we're
banging on
alone.
the door. Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a good relationship with your little sister?
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. They live with their dad, so I only see him on weekends. But yeah,
Who do you live with?
my mom.
Why'd you pick your mom instead of your dad?
Well, like different dads. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay. So their dad is different from your dad.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I was wondering why, if they were both married, why you would have a kid and then have such a long gap before you have new kids. But I guess that would make sense because you want to have new kids with that partner.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten out of the garbage?
I was watching the stream for a few minutes and I was thinking about this question. Not that I can remember, nothing like memorable to me. I feel like there was a time where like I put something like I just threw it away and then like I went to go eat it or something, like because there was still food there. But I don't know. I just probably, if I had to give an answer.
Do you think you're too good to eat out of the garbage?
I'm usually just one to like finish my food, and I don't know. There's never really like food in the garbage. It's like they still like,
That's
anything to
appealing
eat.
to you?
No, it's just like actual garbage. Just already like no food left.
What is the difference between
Just,
garbage and actual garbage? What do you mean by actual garbage?
Like take like a piece of chicken, like there's just bone left,
Sure.
and you just throw that away or something like that.
You never eat
Or like
the bone?
I've gnawed on a bone pretty heavily one time.
You've gnawed on a bone.
Yeah, really sucked the
All right, so
flavor
you
off
haven't
of it.
eaten garbage, but you've gnawed on garbage.
No, the chicken bone isn't like I didn't gnaw on that after it was in the garbage. No. Just
Okay,
at that
once you've
point, it's
eaten,
probably garbage.
but you said you used chicken bone as an example. You've eaten the chicken off the bone, and then the bone then becomes trash. If someone were to say, "Hey, are you keeping the chicken bone?" you would say, "No, I'm going to throw it in the trash because it's no longer food. It becomes trash." But then when you gnaw on it, you're gnawing on trash.
I guess I would consider it. It's
So
not
if you
trash
would gnaw
until
on
I
a bone,
actually throw it away.
why wouldn't
That's
you
just the
gnaw
part-
on like a used paper towel? What's the distinction between those two things? They're both trash.
One of those is considered food, I guess.
All right, so you're basing your definition of what you would or would not gnaw on what is generally acceptable by society to gnaw on.
I guess, yeah.
Well, listen, what'd you say your name was?
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah, I consider you to do a little bit more thinking for yourself as opposed to living by society's expectations.
Yeah, I probably need to work on that a little bit.
I appreciate you very much for calling, and you have a wonderful night, and you have a beautiful family.
Could I ask you one question now?
Sure.
I've been having trouble. This is one like the reason why I wanted to call. I'm trying to call for weeks. So I'm about to graduate high school in a few weeks, and I'm not really sure like what to do. So I'm taking like a gap year. And I don't know if I like want to go to college or like what my next step would be.
Mhm.
Because like it's so many possibilities. So yeah, I don't really know what to like do.
Interesting. How much money do you have money saved up?
No, I was planning on getting a job after I graduated. So,
'Cause if you had
yeah.
a little bit of money, I would say you should travel while you're young. You could do that.
Well, I have
Or you can apply
family
for one of those,
in-
like, you know, you can apply for like a workaway or something like that. Or apply to
Yeah.
work at a hostel. I know it's a little bit, you know, I mean, you do something in like South America or somewhere where they're accepting international visitors. But if I were in that position, that's probably what I would do, is I would try to travel or have some sort of experience like that, because anything that'll open you up to any sort of new possibilities of things that you can do with your life. I had a friend who took a gap year and he just kind of did absolutely nothing. As long as you don't do absolutely nothing, you'll be fine. I would either go out of my way to gain some kind of experience, or to start putting a dent in your savings account and building it up by getting a job and not spending any money.
Yeah, because I wanted to be a screenwriter. That's like my goal, and so I kind of wanted to get some like experience before I really kind of started down that path. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, if you want to, you know, write things, you got to, you know, live a life of some kind.
Yeah,
So
that's kind
I
of what I
think
was
trying
thinking.
to find some sort of experience. But yeah, look into workaways or something like that where you can travel without a lot of money.
Yeah, I'll look into that. Thanks.
Of course, you have a wonderful night.
You too.
Call from
Sarah Lee.
Emily?
Call from
No, Sarah Lee, like the bread.
What bread is named Sarah Lee?
Sarah Lee, like the bread, like Sarah Lee.
I'm not familiar with Sarah Lee bread.
What?
Is that a brand of bread or a type of bread?
It's a brand.
Sarah Lee bread. Is it only in a certain region of the world? I've never heard of this.
No, I think it's everywhere. They even have a little jingle. People like to sing it to me all the time.
What's the jingle?
Oh, geez. Well, it's nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee.
The jingle is just nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee's?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, could you sing it? Because I feel like if you sung it, it would make more sense.
Okay. It's like, nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee.
That's the whole jingle? There's not even like another stanza?
That's it. That's the whole thing. I mean, it's pretty good, though. Like,
Am I crazy here? Do you guys know what Sarah Lee... Am I crazy here? I've never heard of Sarah Lee bread.
they also make, like, cheesecake and ham.
They make ham?
Mm-hmm.
Is it good?
I think that is pretty objective.
You think it's objectively good?
Yeah, I'm not really into it, but I know, some people are.
Sarah Lee, what do you do with your life?
Well, I'm an artist, and I have guinea pigs.
You're an artist and you have guinea pigs.
Yeah.
What kind of art do you tist?
So I like to do all of it that I possibly can, besides digital art.
You're a Luddite.
I suppose. I've never heard that word.
Well, I've never heard of Sarah Lee's bread, so now we're even.
Yep, I suppose.
You do everything except for digital. What inspires you as an artist, Sarah Lee?
What inspires me as an artist? I'd say seeing everything as art.
You see everything as art.
Yeah.
The Sarah Lee's bread jingle. Would you consider that art?
Yeah, I think I would.
Would you consider it good art?
Yeah, I think it's short and sweet and to the point. It's successful.
Is eating a Milky Way art?
Absolutely.
Why do you think so?
Well, I think it depends what angle you look at it from. I feel like Milky Ways themselves are obviously art. And then, the performance of eating one could be art. The act of being aware of the experience of eating a Milky Way.
Sure.
Art.
Right. The art of soaking up the full extent of an experience. Like the ability to really hone in and taste the taste and smell the smell and really feel attached to your senses of the experience. I mean, there's an art to the perception of really getting all you can, soaking all you can out of the experience.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's definitely an art to eating a Milky Way. Do you have a blanket definition that you would give of art?
Ooh. See, that one is really, really hard, and I was not prepared for such a question. I was pretty prepared for the trash one. Blanket definition of art. I think expressing your experience is art.
Expressing your experience is art. I like that.
I like this one line. It's from an Ideas and Abilities song, but it's the hidden variable is that all that is art. I like that.
Sarah Lee, have you ever eaten out of the garbage?
Yes. So, like the guy from Brazil, I do that. I have done that as a server. I've put, leftover dinners and stuff in a box, take it home, no shame. Eat it right there, whatever. If it's something that someone I love would like, I'll take it home to them. But also, I eat out of the dumpster as much as possible. Like when I'm living my best life, I feel like when I'm being my best self, like that's when I'm checking the dumpster at Aldi's before I go into the store for groceries, because Aldi's dumpster is really hooked up and you don't really know what you need inside until you stop there, because there's a lot in there.
What have been some of your greatest finds from the Aldi dumpster?
Oh, man. Okay, one time I got the Aldi dumpster, okay, specifically, because my favorite dumpster experience was from a fancy chocolate store. But the Aldi dumpster, one time I filled up my whole trunk with peaches that weren't even ripe yet.
Wow. You always go and every time you go grocery shopping, you always check the dumpster beforehand to see if you can get anything for free.
Now, that is what I aspire to do. There have been times in my life when I have done that. But like I said, I would say that's when I'm living my best life. Like I'm being the most productive at life is when I'm not being lazy and just going in the store. Like I'm taking care of that dumpster first. Daylight,
right. You mentioned this as a sign of you living your best life, and that sort of piqued my curiosity. Why do you consider this to be a sign of living your best life? Because you feel as though you say it's because you feel more productive when you go dumpster diving as opposed to going into the store like everyone else.
Yeah, and I still do go in the store. I just feel like it's more productive for me to make sure I check the dumpster first. I feel like it's sustainable. And it's fun, and you never know what's going to go on in there.
Right. There is a deep sense of excitement and curiosity in dumpster diving. You never know what you're going to find.
Exactly.
Do you ever experience any fear of the unknown when you're dumpster diving? Maybe you'll find something unpleasant.
Occasionally, and one time there was a store that had a dumpster, and they really didn't like you to dumpster dive during the day, and I found out it was because, and a friend of mine witnessed this, but it was because one time during the day someone was dumpster diving and another customer was very offended about it and started yelling at him. And so the dumpster man yelled back, and they were verbally fighting. And at the end of the day, like, the guy who was offended ended up shooting the guy in the dumpster. So that's kind of scary. Like, people don't really like it.
He ended up shooting the guy in the dumpster?
Yeah, he was that mad.
Why? I can't imagine that someone would be so upset and offended by someone else's, victimless actions to shoot them.
Yeah, he felt like it was wrong, and he was getting things for free. But, like, there was good things in that dumpster. That particular dumpster, like, my friend would bring home, like, those big pieces of salmon, like, really big, still frozen, still good. Many of them. Sometimes, like, the flower department would throw away all their bouquets. So that was, like, a real good dumpster. So he was just mad that, like, he probably felt insecure about doing that himself. Jealous, right. Yeah.
Well, listen, Sarah Lee, before we go, any naysayers out there, if there are, if anyone after listening to this is not fully convinced that dumpster diving is the way to go, what would you tell them?
I would say to let people live their lives. They're not hurting you. And it's okay if you don't want to do it, but you don't have to stop other people from doing it because it's just the trash. So why do you care? And yeah, more trash for the people who don't mind. Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing. So I was trying to say sharing, but I said Saring because your name is Sarah Lee. Thank you so much for sharing, Sarah Lee. You have a great rest of the night. And I wish you many great dumpster finds in the future. Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Call from
Alexa.
Alexa.
Oh my gosh, am I really on?
No.
No. Oh, okay.
Just kidding, right. Alexa. I'm just joking around. Sorry, I'm in a really jokey mood, so I decided to play a little bit of a joke on you. But it's, I think I got it out of my system.
You got me. It's all good. It's a joking kind of day, I guess. It's Friday, and it's a relaxing day, and I'm just chilling.
Let me ask you, do you truly believe that it is a joking kind of day, or were you just saying that to, as a way of furthering the conversation and acknowledging what I said?
A little bit of both, honestly. I was definitely furthering the conversation, but also, there's some truth to it. I feel like today in general is just kind of like a nutty day. Not like anything worth talking about, but just like, work-related stuff and just kind of waiting until the weekend and, kind of hang into that. What is it like? What am I trying to say? Like, not like cliffhanger. I can't think of the word right now. It's like
You said today is nutty.
Yeah, but it always is for me.
What do you do?
I work in IT. So, yeah, I work in IT. I'm not going to bore you with, like, the details behind that, but I work in IT for a really large company, and it just gets crazy sometimes. So it's always nice to, like, not be working sometimes because it's just much more relaxing than when I am, I suppose.
What percentage of, IT problems that you deal with on a daily basis are solved by turning the system off and back on again?
An embarrassing amount. But actually, the majority of the problems that we have are just people not communicating. Not reality of it. Like, sometimes it's just somebody misunderstood something and they built something they really weren't supposed to build, or like sometimes it goes through like different countries too, like depending on if you are like outsourcing some stuff or whatever, and so it just stuff gets lost in translation. I'll say that much. So,
do you consider yourself a good communicator, Alexa?
Yes, I do. I like people. I don't. Okay, that sounds kind of cocky. I don't mean it like that.
No. Look, I rarely do we hear people who like people. I feel like that's the unpopular sentiment now, is liking people. I feel like everyone hates people now.
Yeah, I know, and it's actually kind of sad. Like I was thinking about it the other day, because I do like people. I like talking. I like just sitting down and having a conversation. That's actually why I think I started watching your stream probably about a month and a half ago, and I like how what
Oh, nothing.
And I just I like how insightful your conversations are, and yeah, I just really I also like talking to people. So it was something that I noticed, specifically with the pandemic, because everybody's just so, I would say, distant now and kind of lonely in some cases, or just it's different. Like things are weird, and so you don't really get to have that interpersonal communication like you would have in real life when we weren't going through this together. And so it is kind of sad, and it seems to be the norm. I agree with that.
It's interesting because, I started this during the pandemic, and I kind of started this because of the pandemic. Not really because of the pandemic, but I don't think if the pandemic never happened, I don't think I would be doing this. And I feel like I have spoken to more people post-pandemic than I would if there hadn't been one, which has been an interesting thing for me. Because, I'm talking to all these people on the stream, and, people I just meet because of doing this. And when before pandemic, I was only talking to whoever was in my vicinity.
Right. Oh, that's
well. Listen,
interesting.
Alexa, have you ever eaten from the garbage?
So I thought about this question, and it's both a yes and a no. I have to say no because it goes against my entire culture. So I'm Italian, actually Italian, not New York Italian, born and raised in Italy. And if I admitted to eating out of the garbage, my grandmother will roll over in her grave, kind of thing. Because food is a big part of our culture. Esatto, there you go. And and it's a big part of, food in Italy is a spiritual experience almost. So I can't admit to that. However, I went to college. And I certainly have, not rummaging, certainly not to that extent. But I mean, there have been instances where I've gone to, I can't believe I'm admitting this in front of all these people. But there has been an instance where I've kind of thrown something out, and then I've kind of re-examined after I thrown it out and been oh wait, I didn't need to throw that out. There's still something on there.
What was it that you threw out? Oh
gosh, what was it? I can picture the plate. That's the weird thing. I can picture the plate. It was I'm going to talk through this because I don't remember exactly what it was, so maybe I'll get there. It was a small, paper plate, the ones that you can get, Walmart or whatever.
Tell me what was on it. Describe.
It was it was orange. I can't remember what it was.
Orange. Was it a pasta dish of some kind? Was it a meat?
Gosh. Oh no, you know what? It was. I think it was hummus.
I think it was
no. It was not meatballs. Hey, that's not a thing. Anybody who's wondering that spaghetti and meatballs, that's not a thing in real Italy. You can have meatballs on the side. You can have spaghetti and ragu, but together, that's not a thing. Sorry if I ruined some people's nights with that one.
Allora. I like that word. I like allora. I know. I speak.
Oh. I was about to say, ma sei italiano? Oh, wow.
Pochissimo di italiano.
Oh my goodness.
Ho studiato in Italia 3 anni fa.
Oh, ma sei bravissimo.
See, I have no idea what you just said just now, but...
oh, you're wonderful. That was really good.
Grazie mille. Well, thank you so much, Alexa. I appreciate you calling in.
Well, thanks for everything that you do. Thanks for having me, and keep up the good work. It's awesome. Thank you.
Buona serata.
Anche a te. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.
We did it.
Call from
Mason.
Mason?
Call from
Yes. Mason. Yes. Mason.
Call from
Yes. Hold on.
Mason, turn your stream off, dude.
Audio spice, Gecko.
I know I am.
Okay. Hello?
Mason, what year were you born?
2003.
All right, so you're 18, 17.
Yes.
To which one?
I'm 17.
Oh shit, Mason, I don't talk to anyone under 18 on the stream, dude.
Oh, dang. I
But
turned 18 in 2 months.
Call me then.
Give it to me. Wait. Can you talk to my brother? He's 18. He's over 18.
Please, I'm almost 20. Hold on, Gecko, hold on.
All right, sure, I'll talk to your brother.
Gecko, listen to me. I'm a little upset at the moment.
Why are you upset?
I've been
How
trying.
old are you?
I'm almost 20. I'm 19.
All right.
I turned 20 in like literally exactly a month. But that's not besides the point. I'm legal.
Sure.
I've been trying for days. And I introduced my brother to the Geck Nation 20 minutes ago. And he gets in after calling like for 20 minutes, and I've been trying for a couple of days. I just want to know what that's about.
Well, okay, so you've been trying for so many times, and now that we're finally here, what's your name?
My name is Taylor.
Taylor. I mean, look, how can I help you, Taylor?
Listen, I just, I don't know. I do therapy and I get no help from that. So I don't know what would be different here.
What do you talk to your therapist about?
A lot of things. A lot of it goes back to my ex, and I feel like that's the same thing with my brother as well. We both have issues letting things go.
Interesting. Okay, what is this obsession with your ex?
Me specifically, was the first person. I can't speak for my brother past that. And I know he's probably not upset about me saying that, but we'll get past that. With me, it was the first girl I ever slept with or ever did anything with. I went to her prom, did a lot of things. And then she decided to, when I was at work one day, make an account to sell not OnlyFans. This is different from OnlyFans. I don't know what website this was on, to sell specifically her dirty underwear.
Okay.
After I said I was not cool with that. So I come home and she says, hey, look what I did. And at this point we were like damn near living together. So then I broke up with her the moment I found out. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Bye.
All right.
I already told her I wasn't about it. And she said, no, I'll delete the account. I was like, no, this is what you want to do. You've made your decision.
But so, I mean, what's the problem?
I almost regret my decision to break up with her.
Well, look, all right. I mean, you're dating someone. I don't think it's within anyone's right to tell. I don't think, your partner doesn't control you. I don't think it's within your right to tell her that she can't do OnlyFans, but it's totally within your right to break up with her for any reason. All right. And you decided that, you didn't want to, you decided that you weren't comfortable with it. So you broke up with her, which is fine. But then what are you upset about?
I mean, there were a few things that she did after we broke up, like would show up to my work and would like follow me around because I would watch people and stop shoplifters at a store. I can't say what store. And she knew that for some fucking reason. She found that out. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I cuss?
You can say whatever you want on here within
reason.
Okay,
cool. No, I won't. I'll stay in TOS.
Gotcha.
But no, she would like show up at my work and would know that I would be in plain clothes and would kind of walk around and do stupid shit like that. And now one of my friends that was friends with her and dated her friend after we broke up would tell me that she lives in like New Zealand or Taiwan or some shit now with a baby daddy. Or not a baby daddy.
Your ex-girlfriend lives in Taiwan now.
I don't know what country. I can't remember because it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, if it doesn't matter, I mean, so you're not still hung up on this.
I mean, to an extent, I am. Because I would, like, given the chance, I believe, in my head, I'd be like, I don't want to get back together, but I would, given the chance. I think.
19?
Yeah.
Are you in college right now?
Yeah.
It sounds to me, I mean, what, you went to prom together? I mean, she lives in a different country.
True.
Sounds like you two have values that aren't compatible with one another, or whatever decisions, whatever, that aren't compatible with one another. Sounds like a good thing that you guys broke up, especially after such a young age, because doesn't seem like you are right for each other anyway. I mean, now she's living in wherever, doing her life, living her own thing. I feel like you got to go kind of. I mean, you're 19, man. You haven't even built your life yet.
True, and I agree with Chad. I also do feel like I should probably just grow up about it. But for some reason, yeah, she is rich now, motherfucker. But no, I can't. I do struggle to just get over it, and I do feel like I do probably just have to grow up about it. But
here's the thing. I
haven't
mean,
been able to
when
cut
it
that
comes
string.
to, what were you gonna say?
No, I just couldn't cut that string. That was it.
When it comes, my feelings when it comes to 19, 18, 20, whatever, in relationships, it's like, dude, you haven't even taken the appropriate amount of time that it takes to actually become anything or build up who you are as Taylor. I mean, there's no reason for you to rush into a relationship. I mean, a partnership. Both people got to. You have nothing to bring to the table right now. Not because of anything's wrong with you, but just because you're young. You haven't taken the time to develop yourself.
Okay.
I feel like now you have so much time ahead of you to develop yourself as a person independently of anyone else. So that way, when you are ready to date, you sort of have more both independently, so that if it doesn't work out, you're less shook by your dependency, right? Does that make sense?
No, yes, it does.
Because if you don't have anything going on with yourself, and then you get into a relationship, and that becomes your everything, then when it goes wrong, you get fucked. You fuck yourself.
That's pretty much exactly what happened. That was all I had.
Great, and I'm happy that you learned that lesson as a young person. So now you get to. You should learn that lesson and be like, all right, I'm going to try to develop myself and see what's going on with me alone, my career, my values, whatever, how I like to interact with the world around me, and really focus on developing that, because, once you're happy alone, you have to be happy alone before you seek happiness in others, I believe.
Okay, no, I get what you're saying. Sorry, I'm very distracted by people in chat asking for her OnlyFans. Unfortunately, I don't know.
Don't read the chat.
that sounds about right. No, I will scoot away from chat. But no, I do see what you're saying. I still don't even really know what I want to do in college. I'm still trying to figure out a lot of things for myself.
Exactly, you're still figuring it out. So, I mean, I would put 100% of your focus into figuring out, as opposed to thinking about, whatever your ex is doing.
Okay. No, I dwell on that a lot. I don't really focus on myself.
Yeah, dude, don't dwell. Dwelling won't help you. And plus, you're so young. I mean, so many things could happen to you. You could die. You could get hit by a car. But, I mean, that's just one thing. So many things could happen to you that you don't even know what they are. But if you're dwelling, if you're thinking about the past, you're not looking at what's in front of you. I mean, you have so much opportunity coming your way. I really do believe that.
Or I could get hit by a car.
Or you could get hit by a car, but you will never know.
That was such a stark choice to go directly to.
I mean, look, it's the elephant in the room. At any point, I could get hit by a car right now. A car could bust through my fucking house and kill me.
True. That is very true. Or one of those garbage trucks will just run us over. We'll never know what happened.
Well, listen, Taylor, good luck to you, and I hope that you don't get hit by a car and die.
Well, thank you so much, Gecko. Can I see if my brother has a question for you through me? Never mind.
The rest of the night.
You too.
Call from
Stockton Dogs.
Stockton Dogs?
Hi.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Oh, yeah, dude. My name is Cruz. That's my first name.
Hello, Cruz.
Stockton Dogs is my business. I'm a dog sitter.
You're a dog sitter?
Yep, that's what I do.
Stockton dog. Why? I don't want to dox you, but is that like your last name or something?
No, Stockton, California. That's where I live.
Are there a lot of dogs in Stockton, California?
Yeah, there's more in the Bay, which I wish I was, over there, San Francisco, Oakland area, but it's all good. Yeah.
You got to. How come you don't go? I would assume you would want to go where all the dogs are.
Yeah, I'm building up to it. I'll get there.
How long have you been sitting dogs for?
About 3 years.
And what got you into the game?
I love dogs.
Perfect.
You don't have a dog.
I have a dog.
Where?
What do you mean where?
Where's your dog at? I've never seen your
they're
dog.
somewhere. Sometimes they go out, and they don't tell me where they're going.
Well, when you go to Brazil or wherever you're going next, I'll
ship them over to you. I'll put them in a box.
Yeah.
I'll write Stockton Dogs on. I'll drop it off at UPS.
I got you.
I like this because I hate kids. If you told me you were a babysitter, I'd be like, that's disgusting.
They're
That sounds
the
like a horrible job.
worst. Oh, they're so annoying. I hate kids too.
But I could do dogs.
Yeah.
Although I'm very particular about my dogs. Like I kind of hate at least half dog breeds. I'm very specific with the kind of dogs I like. I like big dogs, like the golden retrievers, huskies. I like Shibus. Shibus are big now with the dog coin.
Shibus. I think you mean Shiba Inu.
Shiba Inus.
Okay. You just said it weird.
What did I say?
You said Shibu.
Shiba Inu. It was similar. What else? I like corgis.
Oh yeah, they're cute.
But there's so many dogs I hate. Like I hate tiny, crusty, white, fluffy.
Yeah.
Dog. Those dogs. Hate those dogs.
Okay. Well, don't be a hater. You gotta love all.
I'm a bit of a hater when it comes to those dogs. There's a little the bigger the dog, the more I like. A big fan. I like if Clifford were a real dog, that would be a sick dog. But there's so many
heck yeah.
There's so many little tiny rat dogs that they disturb me.
Yeah, well, most of them are they're nervous, so they're shaking, barking, scared.
I know. They're so I don't know why, but it makes me mad how scared they are. It's like, grow up. We all got to do this. We all got to be alive. Well, I don't know why you're freaking out.
That's true. I mean, so some of the dogs first I evaluate them. I call it a meet and greet, but really I'm testing to see if I like your dog enough or not.
What is your criteria?
Well, they have to get along with my dog. She's a 9-year-old pug. Her name is Muppy. She's the best thing in the world. So if their dog doesn't get along with my dog, then get the heck out of here. So, and I want to make sure they're all up to date with their vaccines because that's important. I don't want any dogs to get sick in my house because I do it for my home. Yeah.
That's I'm glad to hear that things are going well enough that you can pick and choose the dogs. You're not desperate for dogs that you'll just take any shitty dog.
Exactly. I don't want them I don't. Oh right, what you were saying about dogs that are scared. I don't like dogs who are submissive. You reach down to pet them and they just roll over on their back and they're just I don't like that.
What, you said submissive?
Submissive, where they just kind of, I don't know how to explain it.
But isn't that ideal for you as a dog sitter? Wouldn't the more submissive the dog make your job easier?
I mean, obedient for sure. If they're well trained or well behaved, that's prime for me. They're have good recall,
I feel like submissiveness and obedience are they're if not the same trait, similar traits that trend alongside each other.
Okay.
What? That I'm correct. That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know, if you were a dog sitter, you'll see all these characteristics that they have. Dogs are awesome overall.
What did you say your name was?
My name is Cruz, like Santa
Cruz.
Cruz.
Have you ever eaten out of the garbage?
Yes.
That's, by the way, the first definitive, confident yes I've gotten this evening.
Absolutely.
I would love
Somebody
to hear this
threw
story.
away a freaking Pop-Tart, like, you know, in the silver packaging. They just threw it away. And I was like, well, it's still wrapped and everything, so that's definitely good. I ate it.
And what was the context of this? What garbage can? Was it in a park? Was it in your house? Was it...
It was at my school when I was, like, in 6th grade or something. I'm sure I've eaten trash other times, but, you know, just thinking about it, that's for sure a time that I was like, give me that Pop-Tart.
It's cool that you've eaten trash because I feel like that would connect you more with the dogs. Because I'm sure that most dogs have eaten out of the trash.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
Like you can relate to them on that level.
Mm-hmm. The big dogs, you know, they got easier access to get up in there. My roommate's dog eats trash all the time. Pulls it out of the
Have
can.
they gotten anything good? You gotten everything? You guys, have they gotten anything where you're kind of jealous that you didn't get to it first?
You know, just half-eaten sandwiches or something with cheese. They like cheese, grapes, fruit.
It's a good get.
They eat it all. Dogs
That's a
are
good
scavengers. They're little vacuum cleaners. They will eat it all up. Whatever you drop
Well,
on the
listen,
floor.
Cruz. I'll let you know if I go out of town and I'll give you my dog.
Yep, Stockton dogs.
Stockton dogs, rock and roll. Well, thank you so much, Stockton dogs. You have a good rest of the night.
All right, Gecko. See ya.
Call from
Carlo?
Carlo.
Carlo. Hey, what's up, man?
Are you high?
Oh, no. It's just been a long week.
You sound high.
No.
How high are you?
0 out of 10. But I was hearing Sarah Lee talk about salmon from the trash, and it reminded me of this salmon from the trash story that I have.
Please.
I don't know if you want a salmon from the trash story or not, but...
All right, so you ate a salmon from the trash.
Well, more or less, yeah. So it wasn't from the trash, but it should have been in the trash. So I had the salmon, and I saw this, like, you remember back when there was like these videos on Facebook all the time that were like these recipes real quick. So I saw this one recipe real quick. Yeah, and so I had the salmon. It had gone, like, it should have been in the trash, and so I made this recipe that I saw on Facebook, and then the salmon was like really bad, and it made me really, really sick. And then I went on a hike, and then I was way out in the woods, and then that salmon started acting up, you know.
Oh my God! There's nothing more terrible than getting sick in the middle of the woods and having to take a diarrhea shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. So,
how did you cope? I mean, that's an awful experience.
So I was out there, and I was actually on a first date, and we're out there in the woods, and we had like set up like a little like hammock spot, and we were like chilling. And then suddenly I was like, oh, I think we should probably turn back. And so we turn back, and we're like kind of heading back, and I'm like, oh, dude, I don't think I'm gonna make it. And so I kind of scurried out into the woods.
So you ran off into the wood. You abandoned your date to run off into the woods.
That's correct. Yeah, it was kind of like a situation where it had to happen.
Understandable. And what came out of your asshole? How would you rank it from a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of solidity?
Oh, in terms of solidity, probably like a 1 or a 2.
Oh my god! It was all liquid.
Yeah. It was also quite loud. It was this very loud. It was this very loud, very explosive experience.
And
with this, yeah.
You didn't have the chance to wipe, I assume.
So that's the thing. So yeah, no. So I'm out there, and I'm like, well, what am I gonna do? So I take off my shoe, I take off my sock, and I do the best I can with a single sock, and then just chuck it into the woods.
You know, a single sock, I mean, first of all, props to you. That was very resourceful. A single sock is enough to get you... Well, the date's over. You're done.
Yeah, I mean, well, we still had, we didn't make it quite back, so it's like we still have more hike to do, you know what I mean?
Wait, so you continued to hike with I mean, you can do the best you can with the sock, but you still probably have a very shitty asshole at that point.
Yeah, yes, but it's 80% better.
80%? You got rid of 80% with one little sock?
Well, so when I was, squatting down to do the business, I had in my mind that I was going to have, I was trying to forecast into the future. And so I was like, how can I make this the cleanest I possibly can with the situation at hand?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I did my best.
Spread.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said you spread to ensure that on its way out, it wouldn't sort of muck up the walls of the ass cheeks.
To the best of my ability at the time, yeah.
That was smart of you. What I would have been afraid of is, all right, let's say you squat and you spread. A couple things would happen here, I think. One is you would risk it sort of in the way that like when you pee, when you have an erection, it's sort of like forks off. I would be afraid of it forking off and like getting on your fingers.
Tell me more about your fork off analogy, because that's not my experience.
Like if it like comes out, it wouldn't like fork. You weren't afraid of getting some on your hands?
No. You put the palms, like fingers spread against the side of your cheeks, and then pull instead of like grab and pull. It's more of it's a more tactical approach, which ended up being more effective, I think, than what you would have done.
Did you wash? Were you able to wash your hands afterwards?
We're in the woods. All I have is my backpack and a hammock. So
Did you have hand sanitizer in your backpack?
Honestly, I don't remember, but I'm gonna go ahead and. No.
Oh my god! Another problem with the spreading is that I feel like what happens if you lose your balance and you end up falling over?
I have pretty good balance. Yeah, no. It was kind of on a hill, so I was kind of able to. I had to like scurry down the hill, and then I was able to kind of support myself. Like, there's a slope, so I was able to have a pretty solid foundation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how did the rest of the date? How did the rest of the date go?
We're still together. It's been 5 years, so.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that, Carlos.
Yeah, Carlo.
You have a wonderful night.
Yeah, you too. I love you, Geck.
I love you too, Carlo.
Call from
Aaliyah.
Aaliyah.
Oh, hello?
Eliyahu Hanaviv. Eliyahu Hatishiv. Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu. That's a song that we used to sing in I want to say Hebrew school or synagogue. I don't know. It's what we did in synagogue. It's called Eliyahu. What's your name?
Aaliyah.
How old are you, Aaliyah?
18.
You're 18,000 years old? That's very old. I'm surprised you made it this far.
I know, I'm dust by now.
The average human being lives to be only 24, but you live to be 18,000. That's pretty impressive. How do you feel about this accomplishment?
Well, kind of gets to me sometimes since I lived past most of my family and friends.
You outlived all your family and friends? You must be very lonely.
Oh, yeah.
This is why I don't want eternal life.
Yeah.
Aaliyah, what are you doing right now, Aaliyah?
Just watching your stream with my boyfriend and cat. I called like 50,000 times, and I was like, I have a story, and I've watched like so many of your streams that I wanted to tell a story for.
Well, I'd love to hear your story, Eliyahu. No, that was what I said.
Okay. So, garbage. Everyone considers garbage, differently depending on who you are. And I consider bugs garbage, obviously. And when I was 10, I went into my kitchen. It was the day after New Year's, and my family had a bunch of sparkling cider bottles just left and laying around the place. And I thought this bottle wasn't opened yet because, some of them you can like screw the lid back onto it. But it turned out that morning, way before I woke up, my younger sister, which was like 5 at the time, she opened the bottle that night and left it open, left the cap off of it, and we had cockroaches in my apartment at that time. And they all flooded the inside of it, and I couldn't see. It was dark in the kitchen that morning. And she, before anyone woke up, she went back into the kitchen, and she put the lid back onto it because she was afraid she'd get in trouble. So me being myself, I went into the kitchen, and I was like, oh, leftover cider. I'm gonna take a quick swig before the adults wake up. So I did, and I got a mouth full of roaches.
Oh my god.
Yep.
How did you react?
Well, I swallowed about half of the gulp I took, and then I spit the other half out when I realized that there was clumps in my mouth.
Roach clumps. And how many roaches approximately do you think you swallowed?
At least 20.
20?
Hey, I'm not, like, don't
how
think
big
of,
were
like...
These? When I think of a cockroach, I think of, like, a big ass... How many of these fucking things?
I lived in Nevada at this time, and, like, I'm counting, like, baby cockroaches, too, and they're not big. They're not, like, huge. So, at least 20. Like, if you think of, like, the, like, babies and, like, all of that. So, it's gross.
Wow. And, I mean, I imagine you fell into a state of horror.
Yeah, I till this day, I can't drink anything that had, like, a bottle. Like, it has to have a lid over it. I can drink out of cups if they're clear and I can see through the liquid I'm drinking. But if there's, like, a bottle of, like, Dr. Pepper or something and it's left open somewhere where a bug or something could crawl into it, I just won't drink it because I have that fear now inside of me.
Why when your little sister put the cider back, she didn't know that there were roaches in it, did she?
Yeah, no, she didn't. And she was actually the one that was going to take a drink first because we both were in the kitchen. And she didn't tell me that she was the one that opened it and then didn't put the lid on. She didn't tell me any of that until we got older. But she was going to take the drink first, actually. And I was like, no, I'm older. So I grabbed it from her.
Wow. You got what you
Yep.
you got what was coming to you.
Yep. I learned quickly not to be the first person to do everything.
See, sometimes, you assert your dominance and it just doesn't work out in your favor.
Yep. And that has followed me through life.
Well, look, I'm glad to hear that you've learned your lesson. I hope that you have been humbled enough by this experience to, allow you to flourish in the future.
Yep. And I'm glad I could get it off my chest and share it with, 700 people.
Well, I'm glad you could too. Kate, hold on.
Aaliyah. The
Aaliyah.
singer.
You didn't have to give me your last name.
Oh, no. I just said Aaliyah, like the singer, the one that died.
Oh, I thought you said your name was Aaliyah Singer.
No. I'd be crazy if I gave you my last name.
People gave me the. I don't think you'd be crazy, but you trust me.
I could trust you, but everyone else, I don't know.
What, you can't do that much with a last name, really.
I guess. I mean, sometimes people try really hard with their stalking and stuff and such.
If someone wanted to kill me, I probably could. They probably would have done it by now, I think.
I mean, you're right. If somebody had a personal vendetta against you, they would.
Well, listen, Aaliyah, thank you so much for sharing your story. I'll talk to you again soon.
Yep,
you have a wonderful night.
Yeah, I hope you find your wallet.
I hope I do too.
Mhm.
Good night, Aaliyah.
Good night.
Call from
Milkman.
Milkman.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm a gecko on the computer, dude.
We all know that. I like that scene there for a moment when you were showing your belly.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
What did you like
I
about
can
it?
relate. I have a very similar belly, maybe a little bigger.
Really? How much do you weigh?
288 pounds.
That's awesome.
How much do you weigh?
I haven't weighed myself in a while, but I think 180 something. But I'm also pretty short.
Yeah, I'm 6'1", so.
Okay.
But I'm definitely a heavy set man.
What do you do with your life?
I do a lot of work, hang out with my daughter, play on the computer, play video games, and I like to play music as well.
How much does she weigh?
Oh, she's 4. I'd say she might weigh 40 pounds.
40 pounds. Is that's normal for a 4-year-old, right?
Yeah, she's pretty average.
All right, you work. You have a daughter that weighs 40 pounds. What do you work as? What do you do?
I'm a maintenance mechanic. I work on industrial air compressors.
Industrial air compressors?
Yeah.
What is an industrial air compressor?
Just a really big air compressor, I don't know, they're almost the size of a car.
What is an air compressor?
It's a device that compresses air.
You know what? Honestly, I'm a little pissed off that you said that. If I had asked anyone else what that was, but you work on these things.
I mean,
if I had asked anyone else and they had said that, I would have been like, all right, I deserve that. But I'm pissed off because you should be able to give me a more detailed explanation of these things. Because considering you could make one out of sticks if you wanted to.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, I can try and get into detail about it.
No, now that I think about it, that would actually be kind of boring. Have you ever eaten out of the trash?
I've never eaten out of the trash. I've eaten some fairly gross things before.
Like what?
I don't know. Back when I was like 14, maybe 13, for my birthday, my mom put together this party where we all ate these really weird combinations of foods. And one of the combinations that I ate was ice cream and salsa. And that was
ice cream and salsa.
That was pretty gross. Another person had chocolate and mustard. Another person had a Pop-Tart with a tomato on it.
Were any of these good?
No, I don't think so. Like, well, I think there were some that weren't, like, horrible, but none were like, man, that's actually pretty good. I'm going to do that again.
How many years ago was this?
11. I'm 24. We're going off 13 years old.
Do you miss being a child?
Yeah, I miss being a child, but I also really like being an adult. You know, I got a lot more freedom. I got money. I can do what I want.
What do you like about being an adult?
Basically just the freedom of it, I guess. I don't know, I'm my own person. Like how you can get on the internet and dress up as a gecko. You might not have been able to do that as a kid.
Actually, I feel like I really kind of feel like at any age I could dress up as a gecko and go on the internet. I mean, you have to be 13 years old to use any of the services that I use, so maybe like 13. But that was when you had your tomato Pop-Tart party.
Yeah, you could be eating a tomato Pop-Tart on a stream.
It's funny you say that because as a 13-year-old, I could not professionally fix industrial air compressors, but I could be a gecko.
I don't think I could do that either. I think I was only able to do it as an adult. I was kind of stupid as a kid, you know?
When I used to do stand-up comedy, I had this joke where I was like, being an actor is the easiest job on a film set because it's the only job on a film set that a child can do. Like, there's no child boom mic operators.
That's actually very true. I never even thought about that. Have you eaten out
children.
of the trash?
I feel like we could boost the economy if we put more children to work.
Well, probably.
Let me ask you a question. Your 4-year-old, does she have any marketable skills?
She could probably fight in the toddler UFC.
I'd watch that. That could generate
Yeah,
revenue.
she whips my ass all the time.
Would that be illegal? Is that illegal to make children fight each other for entertainment?
Not if you don't get caught.
What'd you say her name was?
Milkman.
You have a good rest of the night, Milkman. Thank you for talking to me.
You too, man.